Okay, call the meeting to order. Will everyone please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to come together here tonight. Dear Lord, we ask that your blessing on us and that you watch over us and lead us and guide us and help us with all our decision making. And dear Lord, help us be fair and impartial to our constituents. Dear Lord, thank you so much for all the many blessings you've given us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Here.
Bunch,
Here.
Daniels,
Here?
Temple.
Here. Okay, first order of business is our open seat that was previously filled by Ms. Phillips. No one ran for that open seat. The charter gives us the authority to nominate someone for that position. They would be required to, at the next election, to run if they wanted to continue to stay in that position. Never really had anybody approach me about this open position. I have, my thought process in this is, you really want somebody that don't want to do it? I found somebody that didn't want to do it, but couldn't say no. Mr. Richard Duff, born and raised here in this town. His father worked for this town for, I don't know how many years.
150 years.
Yeah, he came to work here when I worked here back in the early 80s and worked on till he retired. Family, long time Cold Creek family. Mr. Duff has a lot of impact in our community, especially on the recreation side of the house, assisting for the athletic events at the ball field. He's also a really good welder and machinist. We need those skills on city council. We've got an equipment operator. We've got other skills here. We needed an iron worker. But I would like to make a motion that we nominate Richie Duff to fill the open position on our board. Any discussion?
I'll second, sir.
Okay, Councilman Gillum has seconded the motion. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch.
Aye.
Daniels.
Aye.
Temple.
Aye. Motion carried.
You've done
Mr.
it.
Duff.
You've done it now.
Your Honor, would everyone please rise for the swearing in of Mr. Duff? Congratulations.
All right, Mr. Duff, repeat after me. I state your name,
Richard Duff,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and of the state of Tennessee
and of the state of Tennessee
and the charter and ordinances
and the charter and ordinances
of the city of Rocky Top,
of the city of Rocky Top,
and that I will faithfully perform
and I will faithfully perform
the duties of the office of city council
the duties in the office of city council
for which I'm about to assume
from which I'm about to assume
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
You'll sign right there and I'll.
I'm dexterous.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Are you really? Sign on that, and then you go to the. All right, there you go. Thank you.
This is for you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Come down, sit. Going to.
Holler, if you ever need anything. I was gonna tell everyone, this place looks great. I filled in, we're back to 2020, 21.
It's changed a little bit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Okay, approval of minutes. We have approval of the November 21st, 2024 Beer Board meeting minutes. And you'll find these in your packet. This is the minutes from our last Beer Board meeting. And the big deal here is we're just looking to make sure what we did at the meeting is reflected in these minutes, and there's no changes need to be made. This was for the beer permit for Nick's Food Mart. Any question in regards to the Beer Board meeting minutes? There will be no discussion or comment. Do I have a motion to approve the November 21st Beer Board meeting minutes as written?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Councilman Bunch has made the motion. Do I have a second?
I will second, sir.
We have a second. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye?
Duff,
Aye.
Tingley.
Aye. Okay, approval of November 21st, 2024 City Council meeting minutes. Is there any discussion in regards to the minutes from the November 21st council meeting? You look over these, I mean, you may find that the date's screwed up or something, and we need to fix that. Any comment on the November 21st council meeting minutes? There be no,
Do we need to change that amount for the Parks and Rec grant contract? Second page. I just saw that. Second page.
I see it. What
I
is,
think the check, they wrote the check for $566,000.
that's what I was thinking I read was 566 on the post.
where am I seeing this?
565, 500.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, 565, 500, 566, yes. That needs to change, good catch. On the second page, for the Parks and Recreation grant contract for $565,500, it's 600, correct?
566.
566, 566,000 even. Don't change that to 566. See, it says it right there.
566.
There you go.
We can read that.
Yeah. Well, that says 566 even. This says 566.
566 even.
Yeah, that
So
says 566.5.
565.5. Yeah, so we need to change that.
Right.
The minutes
to
need to
566
be revised to,
match that check.
right. So do I have a motion to approve the November meeting minutes with the correction under the Parks and Recreation grant contract for the amount of the check, $566,000?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Councilman Daniels made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Bunch is seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye?
Duff,
Aye.
Tingley.
Aye. Okay, recognize citizens, guests, and visitors. Do I have anyone to come before the board? Yes, ma'am. Please come up here to the podium. State your name and your address.
My name's Dawn Walker, and I live at 811 Petrel Avenue. I've been complaining about.
Did you have the deal with the tree
Yes,
in the backyard?
I'm still complaining, that's where I.
Okay, that
yeah.
was the one.
been complaining for about a year. The owner did come look at the tree, and he's trying to say it wasn't on his property. What happened was, I don't know if I can show you, but there was a fence. This tree was on his property right here. Well, when it fell over, of course, it lifted up, and because the hole was on the neighbor's property, he's saying, no, it's not his tree.
Yeah.
It is. I lived next to the tree for 20 years.
As a chief,
Who's the owner?
That green kid, I don't know.
Zach Green was
Yeah.
supposed to have talked.
He knew.
he was supposed to have known who the owner was.
Yeah, and he did come look at it.
Mhm.
It's the same owner that lives the property next to it on the corner of Fourth and, Jacksboro. He owns it too.
Matt Martin,
Fourth and,
He's supposed to be a preacher or something?
Matt Martin, I believe who owns it, yeah,
on Fourth and Jacksboro?
yeah, yeah.
Do you know
Okay.
who the owner is?
I think so.
I know him,
Matt?
Has,
He's not a preacher.
yeah, I know
Well,
him.
somebody said he was, I don't know. Half the people in Anderson County.
has Tony
Supposed to be.
looked
I
at
don't
that?
think Tony ever, I think Tony went and he couldn't find the tree. He couldn't really
No,
let
actually,
know.
I walked over there with him.
Oh, did
With
you?
Tony or
Yes.
not,
Yeah.
Zach or Tony?
Tony,
Okay.
the owner. I
Oh,
walked
no.
over there with him and said, there it is.
Tony is one of those here.
Oh, okay, no,
Yeah.
no,
Civil matter.
he did know
Okay.
that too.
Tony
Yeah, we
Green.
don't know if we
Yeah,
have
but
to
no.
tell him, might we?
I don't know if I can make him do it. That's the question for that.
Has he talked to him?
You haven't talked to
I'll
him.
talk to them because I don't want to.
Okay.
I mean, if we had brush
That
piled
may,
up on our
just by
property,
Tony
it might
talking
just
to
slow
him,
down.
may convince him
We'll
to
try to get a hold
fix
of
it.
Yeah, we'll try to get a hold of it.
Yeah, I don't know how much on our side, if we could, that could go under the nuisance. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if I had brush piled up in my front yard,
Yeah, we'll come and pick that up. Yeah, you pile brush up in the front yard, we'll come pick it up.
well, I know that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we were getting sprayed for mosquitoes, we usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they couldn't get rid of them last summer.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it's because that's like swampy in that big
Yeah,
hole.
stays wet, wouldn't have turned over.
So we were wasting all that money.
Well, the fire chief, well, he's gonna go over and talk to him. He should
I
have
think
done
he's
that.
been once, but, yeah.
I don't,
If we pinpoint that it's Matt's property, then I'll have to work with him about it.
okay, that's great.
And
I know
if
him
he
real
says
well.
it's not on his property, I can show you
Okay.
that it, the hole is on, may not be on his property, but the tree was. But that's all I got.
Okay,
All
thank
righty.
you. Hopefully we can get this addressed. I thought we had it addressed before, but
Right,
obviously we did.
I'll
Thank
look
you.
into that.
You're welcome. Okay, mayor's report. Audit draft for discussion. You'll find a copy of the draft audit in your package. Across the board, looked great. The only thing that the auditors identified was that we have an inventory process for everything but the water item.
Materials.
The water material, the water and sewer department of materials, which would be like pipes, valves, fittings and whatnot. So they recommended to us that we inventory and keep a running inventory of all the items that we purchase to use, in regards to the water department, fixing leaks and whatnot. Other than that, no findings. Great, it looks like we're gonna get it in. The state wants it by the 31st of December. The last few years, we've not been successful getting it in, either between us or the audit firm. The state doesn't like that, they'll spank you real hard after you do it a couple of times. It looks like everything's gonna go in great this year, on time. If it's not on time, it's gonna be on the auditors. It's gonna be the auditor's fault, not ours. The budget looks real good. there'll be copies of this that will go out right now. It's draft. This should all be completed by the next board meeting, the January board meeting.
He didn't say. I'd say
It should be.
January, February.
They generally come in January and present it to the board. The audit firm, what's their name? What's their name? Mitchell, Emmert, and Hill. They should be here for our meeting next month, and everyone will be able to get a copy of it then. Okay. Committee council reports. Planning Commission. Councilman Gillum, do you have a report?
Our last meeting, we approved for a modular home to be placed on Walden Drive here in Rocky Top. Another gentleman was wanting to build on his property, and it will have to be subdivided before, there's already a structure on there, and law only allows for one structure per property unless you subdivide it. So he's gonna do the paperwork to have it subdivided, and he'll be back before us.
Thank you. Recreation Committee, there was no meeting for December. I think I know how we're gonna stick on the Recreation Committee, but. Duh, did we see that coming? City Manager's Report.
I guess I was zoned out.
Well, that's generally when things happen.
Tag, you're it.
Yeah, you don't know the number of times, we appointed you
Yeah,
the day you wasn't here. I'm going,
Just give it to the new guy.
yeah.
The sewer project is 61% complete. They are on day 219 out of 360. The water and sewer insurance brochure has been sent out. It will start February the 1st. Hopefully you've received it. It's a blue brochure. If you don't want it, you can opt out. But to opt out, you have to come to City Hall and fill out a form, an opt-out form.
it's gonna be what, a month?
$2.35
$2.35.
for each one of them.
For each one, so it'd be, what,
$4.70.
$4.70 for both water and sewer. Now, and if this insurance is anything like what Anderson County had, my brother had a leak out here at Cove North, he's on Anderson County Water, and he had that insurance. And it wound up costing $8,000, because they had to bore under his garage and carport and all the way over to get to the house, the way the water line was. And the insurance company paid for it. Shocked me, yeah, $8,000. That's nuts.
When will that,
February 1st.
February 1st?
It should be on,
Trying to let the sewer project,
Okay.
get done.
Mike, she's wanting to know, what if you rent? Yeah, what if people rent? I'm sorry.
it's up to your landlord.
Yeah, now, do you pay a water bill in your name, or does your,
Well, I don't have a landlord, but some neighbors next to
Okay.
me do.
They will pay it, and it'd be beneficial for the landlord to try to get them to take it probably.
yeah. If you have a leak, if you have just a little toilet flapper, can cost you a ton of money if that thing's stuck open, and especially if you're gone. Because once this goes into effect, we won't be doing adjustments. And this is something, because we didn't have it on the agenda this meeting, we need to put it on the agenda for next month in regards to sewer adjustments for swimming pools. And I think we'll probably need to continue on, but that would be the only sewer adjustment we would do, is for swimming pools. Everything else would be covered under this insurance program.
Next week, City Hall will be closed Tuesday and Wednesday. Garbage pickup, we are going to try, if we can get garbage trucks to work.
We have a broken garbage truck right now.
Pick up all garbage Monday and Thursday. We're gonna try to run 2 garbage trucks, that way we can get everybody's garbage Monday, and then we're gonna do the same thing Thursday after Christmas.
Right,
because
so
I
all
know
your
there's a
Christmas
lot of
garbage doesn't set till the next week.
Yeah. So,
That's the
we're
plan.
gonna try to do that. And then, as everybody knows, TDEC presented us a check today for the ball field for our recreation, parks and recreation grant. That money will go to make the ball field ADA compliant.
So we'll be replacing the bleachers. The walking track is, I don't know, the total extent of the replacement on it, replacement and repair the track, the fence around the ball field, and
Concession stand up next to the bleachers.
a concession stand with ADA compliant toilets
Yeah.
near the bleachers. So, great.
So, and I'd like to thank everybody that participated in the tree lighting and the Christmas parade. Like I said, City Hall will be closed December the 24th, the 25th, and January the 1st, New Year's Day. And finally, we have a CMFO. She graduated.
Certified Municipal Financial Officer. Amanda, they give 2 years. She completed it in exactly a year, which is great. The state really likes that, and we're proud of her. Thank you.
That's all I got.
We'll go ahead.
Oh, yeah,
Well, let me knock this sewer adjustments out first.
okay.
Okay, monthly sewer adjustments of $1,122. We had an adjustment of $89 for Amanda Leanne Gross, she had a leak. $97 for Natalie Jean Askins, replaced the line. Anna and Jason Hollenbaugh, replaced the line, $66. The upper room on Creek Street, they had a pipe burst, $459 adjustment. And Janice Goins on Biddle Lane, she had a leak, $411 adjustment. That's where we had we had a break there on a 6-inch one night.
Yeah,
I don't know, is it really close to her? Okay, $411, for a total of $1,122 sewer adjustments for the month. Do I have a motion to approve the sewer adjustments in the amount of $1,122?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Councilman Bunch has made the motion, do I have a second?
I second.
Councilman Daniels, second. Call roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Timlin.
Aye. Okay, now we'll get into the fun stuff here. Monthly water loss, 50.5%. With our in-house usage, it's 36%. It's not good. We've been down in the 20s. We're creeping back up. We've had several line failures and bursts. Morgan's got into a few of them. That's probably where this excess loss is. Been a bad month for water leaks. And in regards to the water and sewer, I don't know if y'all can see this on the screen. This is over on Jacksboro Street behind the community center. This is why things cost so much in this town. This was a manhole behind the community center that was scheduled to be rehabilitated by our contractors as a part of this sewer rehab project. When they flip the manhole lid, they find a 6-inch potable water line going through the middle of the manhole. Not supposed to do that. You know, poop and drink don't not supposed to cross
They're
paths
not
here.
supposed to do
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Not only does this line, this potable water line go through the manhole, it had a hole in it.
oh gosh.
Now, this was above, it was for, they're actually, for sewage to be able to get into the drinking water, it would kinda like to have to be a perfect storm, because it was several feet above the sewage. The sewage would have had to have backed up, and there would have had to have been a break on the water line to cause a suction into the water line. But the fact that this even existed is, and from my understanding, this isn't the only one in town. And as we find them, I'm having them fix them. We're not screwing around with this foolishness anymore. We're fixing them. Can you go to the screen where they were actually, this is where the new manhole has been set. We had an outage that night, and our workers came in. Oh, that's a different.
That's behind cups.
Okay, yeah, we don't want to, let's go, can you see where they went in and built an offset? Really great. They did, and it was cold as whiz that night too. They did an outstanding job on that. I mean, it's a professional, I don't think, if we were paying contractors $10,000 to do that job, it wouldn't have looked that good. But when we find things like that, we fix them, and it costs money to fix them, so. But we fix them once. You don't have to come in and fix them again. And also, we're repairing the line with a hole in it, that contributed to this 35% water loss for last month. I'm sure that impacted it. So next month, we should see better numbers, I hope. If something else is not hit between now and then. Okay, police report. How does a firecracker in here?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For the month of November, your police department made 41 arrests. They conducted 190 traffic stops. Out of those stops, they issued 58 citations and 28 written warnings. The remainder would have been resolved through a verbal warning or investigatory stop or possibly an arrest of the person operating the vehicle. The officers completed 63 incident reports out of 507 calls for service that they responded to during November. And also, there were no overdoses during that. Thank you
Great.
for that. For personnel, I've been on personal leave. I've got my adult son's had a family medical emergency, been in Vanderbilt, so I've been back and forth through there. Deputy Chief McGee has been handling things very well in my absence. We have a vacancy from the departure of Officer Powers. We have a new hire for replacement to fill that slot that'll be starting December 30th, 2024. Our grants, we have no changes to any of our grants since the last council meeting. Our internal procedures and equipment, the departments began receiving the new uniforms and coats that have their new patch that we ordered recently. We ordered those with the 15,000. Some of the 15,000 we got from the Toledo grant for sending Officer Malaco to the academy earlier this year. I'm wearing the new uniform with the new patch on it that the officers designed. And then Deputy Chief McGee's got the coat. Stand up, model it.
Turn around.
Well, I wanted to make sure these guys had suitable cold weather last winter. We were kind of piecemeal, and I want to make sure that they were equipped to get out and do the work that the citizens need, that the city needs, whenever it's cold. We had a rough January last year, and if we've got another one, they're going to be well equipped with cold weather gear. Accreditation, there's no changes since last meeting. The last milestone I reported to you last month was that we have some critical policies we have to have models of in February. Yes. And we're well in advance of that, proceeding with getting those completed. For training, Deputy Chief McGee completed an advanced leadership course through LEIC, through the UT LEIC organization out of Oak Ridge. Cases of significance. The officers made several drug arrests, both misdemeanor and felony. Last week, our officers responded to a non-custodial parent kidnapping that was resolved safely with the help of Union County and Knox County Sheriff's Departments. They located the suspect and the vehicle that he had taken at one location, and then the teenage child at another location unharmed within 2 hours, 2.5 hours from us receiving the report to the resolution of the suspect in custody and the child Officers investigated with the Departments of Revenue and Agriculture at 2 local businesses over a drug complaint. That investigation is continuing. We're probably gonna be able to do a small press release on it tomorrow, nothing of significance
Okay.
for the criminal side. For our budget, I've calculated we're at 42.31% through the fiscal year, calculating it by pay period, since the personnel costs are our biggest expense. We're allocated total almost $703,000. We've spent about $281,400, which is 39.85%. So a couple of 3% below the point that we are progressing through the fiscal year. Our expenditures that are over projections are overtime and motor vehicle parts. We're just, our roads chew up the cars, and we're spending, having to spend, just like with the water and sewer, to correct problems that weren't taken care of earlier in these vehicles' lives.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Fire report. We had 21 EMS calls, 5 lift assist, 5 motor vehicle accidents, 1 involving the extrication of a patient, 4 service calls, 2 police assist, for a total of 41 calls for the month of November. Total calls for the year, 491. Public Works report, all 43¼ tons of garbage for the month of November. No brush truck work, put up the Christmas tree. Christmas lights look real good too. Need to see if we can put colored bulbs in those for next year. I like colored bulbs, it look prettier.
I second that.
First nomination.
He's zoned back in, ain't he?
To help with the Christmas parade, did a really good job with the Christmas parade. Somebody showed their hind end up there on the other end of town and wound up going to jail. That's sad, isn't it? They worked on the leaf box. We've got a leaf vacuum that we hope to, in the future, get into service. That we can go around, people can just rake their leaves out to the curb, and we can come through. Yeah, you're getting a stink eye here. Don't look over that way. Don't make eye contact with him.
I'm just, when are we gonna fix it? I mean,
It's a work in progress. Hopefully by next leaf season, this thing will be in operation where we can drive around, we can suck those leaves up out of the ditches. It will decrease our load on the garbage truck, because a lot of leaves wind up in garbage cans. And we pay for that by the pound as it goes into the dump. We winterized all trucks and equipment, removed a tree from Second and Lawson, picked up garbage Manley because the garbage truck's been broken down. One of the new garbage truck with a lift arm, it's great that it only takes 1 person to operate it. The problem is with these new cans, when that truck's broke down and we have to go back to the old rear load truck, you've got a can that could weigh upwards of 300 to 400 pounds. And they're not supposed to be handled by people. It's supposed to be handled by a machine with hydraulic cylinders. And now we've got 2 to 3 guys back there wrestling this garbage can, trying to get it in the back of the truck, and it's really hard. I'm scared to death we're gonna hurt somebody. Hopefully, Tim Isbell is working on our truck now. I hope that he's got it fixed, and shout out to Tim. He's great for helping us when we have things broke. But we're also looking for a device to go on the back of our old truck that's a can assist that will, the guys just have to roll the can up there and it hooks it and it dumps it, so they don't have to pick it up. But I hope the truck's fixed tomorrow. But I think I'm gonna wind up helping on Monday empty garbage. Yeah, roll your eyes, honey.
This is surprising about.
Water and sewer report, they've had several breaks. Jetted 6 service lines, replaced 7-foot section of 4-inch line on Second Street. Yeah, I've replaced a grease trap, we're not going there, grease trap at the nursing home. They treated 11,827,000 gallons of wastewater through our sewer plant for the month of November. And our, we had some discharges back during the heavy rains, and they were reported to TDEC and the EPA. That's something that I hope when they complete the sewer project, that our instances of having to report a discharge will come to zero. We won't have to deal with that anymore. Financial report.
Financial report briefly is on the water. Total revenue, the budget is like 1.4 million. Year to date collected is 666,000. We still have 807,000 that's unrealized, which is about 55%. And if you flip on over to the general fund, budget is 2.2 million. Year to date is 539,000. So we got about 76% that's unrealized on it.
We'll see a lot between now and the end of February, when you're gonna see all the property taxes rolling in on that. And our sales taxes are down.
Yes.
Casey's being down for how many months were they, that hurt, that hurt us. But they're back in business and seem like they're doing a very good business. The new car lot up there is definitely helping us on sales tax revenue. They are a major contributor in town, which is awesome. Shout out to those folks. Oh, first reading of new ordinances, we have no new ordinances. Second and final reading of ordinances, ordinance number 597, which was the ordinance that we had a public hearing for prior to this meeting. This is ordinance to amend Title III of the Rocky Top Municipal Code regarding the municipal courts. This ordinance is the ordinance that raises court cost $35 across the board, but it's broke down into several different charges, but it totals up to $35. And like the city manager said earlier, this hasn't changed since 1998.
I think that's what he said.
98. Do I have any discussion in regard to ordinance 597? Will be voted on for the second and final reading. There will be no discussion or comments in regards to ordinance number 597. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 597 on its second and final reading?
Sir, I'll make that motion.
Okay, Councilman Gillum's made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second that motion.
Okay, Councilman Daniels, second. Call the roll, please.
Gillum.
Aye.
Bunch. Daniels.
Aye.
Duff.
Aye.
Temple.
Aye. Motion passed. Adoptions and resolutions, none. Unfinished business, change orders 1 and 2. Okay. Change order 1. Purpose of this change order is to install a new 8-inch PVC sewer line, approximately, okay, this is in the fairgrounds over on Grace. They are realigning, an existing line between manholes 290 and 168, which I know doesn't mean anything to anybody here. You can look on the map and see which manholes these are. But this is over off Grace Avenue. It's going to cost us Original contract price.
Fourth one down.
44,280,
Yep.
$44,280, to have this corrected. And change order 2. How many? That's 105 linear feet of 8-inch sewer line. Change order 2 is over behind your office place, there on Jacksboro. The problem we had there, this is between Sixth Street and Jacksboro Street, on Jacksboro Street. That sewer line was lined in 2008, I believe. I think that's what Mikey said. It had been relined when they did the rehab in 2008. I believe that's correct, 2008. May have been before that, but I believe it was 2008.
But they've been out there working on it a couple times recently.
Yes, and they've not done the pipe burst yet, have they?
No, this is what.
Okay. What happened, we have 3 methods of rehabbing these sewer lines. One is open cut, they dig the blooming street out, they tear the old line out, they put a new line in. 2 is pipe bursting, which means they set up from manhole to manhole, and they pull a big mandrel through that busts the old pipe and drags a new pipe in its place, and then they make the taps. The third option is slip lining, which is, if your pipe is still in good shape, but starting to deteriorate, they'll clean it, and then they'll blow a fiberglass sock through there, then the sock cures and hardens, and you have effectively a new line. The problem with slip lining is the existing pipe that's there has to have some structural integrity to it. Well, it was obvious, the one on Jacksboro Street there, they slip lined that rascal, and it was like slip lining through dirt. And
That's a couple of times. I mean, city's been out there
yes,
10
and
or
it's
15
deep.
times to fix it.
It's like 16 or 17 feet deep too. We can't go that deep. We don't have the capabilities to dig that deep. So it's gotta be a contractor if there's a problem. We worked on it. Morgan screwed up and came in and licked their calf again and fixed what they'd screwed up. But we came to the conclusion, there's no way we can let them leave town with this mess. We need to fix it. We gotta eat it because it's our problem. And what they're going to do, they're gonna pipe burst from the manhole there at the intersection of 6 all the way back to the manhole right before you get to 4th Street on Jacksboro. And that should alleviate the problem we're having. There's wheelbarrow loads of gravel in the sewer line. You can't, it's a gone. That's gonna cost us, what, $52,125. It is what it is. We've gotta do this. So do I need to separate these into 2 separate line items?
You want to.
Yeah, it's probably better to do this.
And as you can tell from the water, 6-inch main water pipe running through the manhole, things in the past have not always been done as they should.
Oh, and if you want to, you can come on, you can talk to our city manager or get with me. I've got photographs of crap that they're uncovering, literally, that we paid good money for, not that many years ago to have fixed, that was cobbled. And the contractors walked out of here with a pocket full of money, and
Do we have people going and watching?
yes, on this project, and that's why it's costing us a little bit more money, because we have 5, is that correct now? 5 inspectors? We have 5 inspectors on the
No, we
job.
got 2 or 3 inspectors, we got 5 contractors. 5, Morgan has 5
Now,
field workers.
Cannon and Cannon,
Has 3.
3. We've got 3 inspectors on the job from our engineering firm, watching them. We have a water department that is empowered to rat out anything they're doing and stop it. And we also have a nosy mayor that's got his nose in what's going on out there
Every time he
too.
sees them out.
But, and everything I've seen so far, Morgan's doing a good job. They're doing a good job in a town. We have a lot of issues in this town. We have lines laying on top of other lines. Some of the messes they got into down here, and it's deep, it's 18, 20 feet deep in blue clay mud that wants to fall in on them. It's dangerous as a cock pistol. But they've been, the work that I've seen them doing, actually, and you notice on your all street, a lot of the repairs they did, they were digging through where the outfit did it in 2008. They were going right in, digging through their patches and going down and fixing what they fixed in 2008.
Stuff that's all been
Uh,
already
And
fixed.
there were glued fittings. I saw glued fittings in the ground. It's not supposed to, this ain't a hardware store. This ain't doing the job behind my, in my backyard. It's supposed to be compression fittings, commercial grade stuff, and they were uncovering. That's why a lot of the taps were leaking, which contributes to us treating rainwater because it runs in all these places out there like that. Okay, to get back to business here. Change order number 1, this is the installing 105 linear feet of sewer line over in Grace Avenue. This is realigning an existing line and realigning. The existing line will be abandoned. The cost of this change order is $44,280.91. Do I have a motion to approve change order number 1 for a total of $44,280.91 for the Grace Avenue project?
Make a motion to approve change order
Okay,
1.
Councilman Daniels made a motion. I'll second the motion. Call roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch. Daniels.
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Timlin.
All right. Change order number 2. This is to add 417 linear feet of pipe bursting on Jacksboro Avenue. This is between 4th and 6th Street. The cost of this change order is $52,125. Do I have a motion to approve change order number 2 in the amount of $52,125?
I'll make the motion, sir.
Okay, Councilman Gillum's made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Councilman Bunch is seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch.
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Timlin.
All right.
And there could be dozens more of these pop up.
I hope not. But, yeah, I think as we go farther north, the lines really get kind of newer. And I don't think we're gonna run into the problem that we ran into down here in town. But I hope. Okay. The new business. Owen Williams and Wilson and Coleman retainer agreement. This is for our city attorney, correct?
Yes.
Yes. John Owens, our city attorney. Is this on an annual basis that we do this?
Yes.
Okay.
You did that.
Yeah. This on,
Vote, you have to vote for me to sign it.
right, they have been the city attorney since, they were the city attorney the year before we were elected. I think Mr. Owens he's a good attorney, has the best interest of the city, does a good job, and I make the motion that, we approve for, another 12 months, the services of Owen, Wilson, and Coleman as our city attorney.
I second that.
Okay. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch, Daniels,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Timlin.
All right.
I was wondering why Mike had a crayon on his desk. He's got to sign something.
Yeah, I think you need to vote on that, I can sign it.
Huh?
You need to vote
Okay.
that I can sign it.
Well, we need to change the verbiage there
Yeah.
that we're
Give the
giving
approval
the
to sign.
city manager the approval to sign, on behalf of the city,
With his crayon.
the retainer, with his crayon.
Purple too.
You had that coming.
Okay. Just the last order of business. I've lost my agenda here. But these are the bids in regards to, Public Works.
Public Works, we wanna build a shed over there to put everything in, try to put trucks or vehicles and stuff in. We've got a,
You're looking at kind of like a pole barn type,
yeah,
two-sided shed, roof and a back,
yeah,
that we can back the equipment under. We used, the old city services that used to be located here, we had a shed like that, they parked everything under. Where they're at now, they don't have that, and it shows on the equipment. It's really hard on the equipment leaving this stuff out in the weather.
and then the next one would be of putting a fence around it, because we're gonna put the shed out where the paved parking lot is right now. And that'd be putting a fence around that, and then the next one is a vehicle.
Okay. Okay, the shed, you're looking at Mountain Barn Builders.
Now, the Morton and Mountain was 60 feet long, and R&R's was 80 feet long.
Do the math, that doesn't work out in my head.
Yeah, well,
Wonder why I
60
got a
foot
GED.
R&R was 14,000. So I got him, give me a quote on 20 more feet.
Yeah. 80 feet, what we're looking at now, 80 feet?
Yeah.
Sweet. For 24,000?
Yep.
That, what type of overhead clearance?
Well, we're gonna have 2 garage doors that's 16 feet and 2 that's 14 feet, and I think the sides are probably 20 feet,
Okay, so it's gonna be entirely enclosed in?
all but the front. Front's gonna be open, but
Okay,
everything else will be closed.
okay.
So are we talking about something like City of Clinton has down there?
Yes.
A big opening they have in the front?
Yes.
They just back their equipment into?
The tractor barn.
Yeah, exactly, tractor barn. And I know this isn't a part of that, but, I would like to get to the point that we have our screenings that we use during the snow in a enclosure with a roof on it. Our gravel and our coal mix also needs to be segregated that way, because we waste a lot of money. We'll go buy 20 or 30 tons of crusher run or riprap that we use and work around town, and that it's just dumped out on the ground, they chase it all over the place with a loader trying to get it, and then you may buy 10 tons, you only get to use 8 tons because 2 of it gets wasted, because it gets wadded up with mud and other contamination. You wind up not being able to use it. If we could put it in an area with concrete walls in either an asphalt or a concrete floor, when you put 10 tons in there, you get 10 tons back out, you know. And it doesn't get contaminated, it doesn't freeze up in the wintertime because it rained on it, then it got to 15 degrees, and we can use it, so I would ultimately like to get to that point. So are we approving these bids, or we, okay. We're looking at approving a bid for R&R Buildings Oak Ridge. That's an 80-foot shed.
They have a diagram and a spec sheet, 2 pages back,
Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Okay, R&R. Great. 20 by 80 by 18. Okay, good overhead clearance. Not something that they're easily gonna tear the front loose because he backed out with the dump truck bed up.
I'm not gonna say that.
Well, I will because I've been there. Or the backhoe bucket's up and they back out and they rip the front down. Okay, it happens, I've done it, so. Yeah. Do I have a motion to approve the, bid of $24,115 for an R&R Buildings of Oak Ridge for the 80-foot shed?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Councilman Gillum's made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Councilman Bunch is seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Timblin.
Aye.
So Morton was wanting 30,000 more for smaller.
Well, yeah, we need to jump all over that.
Yeah.
And we're looking at fencing. Is this also fixing the damaged?
No, we're gonna do that.
Okay, we got some damaged fence, a tree fell on the back fence there, man. If we had an iron worker, we could probably. I'm just thinking out
Excuse
loud
me.
there. Just thinking out loud,
Sort of what we was waiting on.
yeah. But
It
this
sounded like a
is-
bunch of work.
What are you looking at here, 360 feet? Is that
That was an estimate,
estimate on the length?
yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing 300 feet here. But what they're doing, where the parking area is at Public Works, is that entire area gonna be fenced?
It
How's
is,
this
right
gonna
now,
work?
it is, but we might use the back of the shed as a fence and just connect the fence to the side of the shed.
Well, that would eliminate a bunch of footage. You don't
Yeah.
need a fence behind the building anyway, right against the building. That's crazy. Just tie the fence into the corner of it. But this would increase the size of the secure area at Public Works. And this also includes a gate.
Yes.
Okay.
20-foot gate.
And southern fence is the,
Now, the 375, that's
That's an estimate that we estimated about how much. They've gotta come out and measure. I don't think it'll be more than 375.
not counting running it up to the building sides.
Now, that's going from, okay, that's coming from going back behind, up, and then back across to the main building and connecting to the building right
Okay.
there. And then the gate going across. And what I'd like to talk to them about is the gate that we have there now is using it to go across because we won't need it going inside.
no, yeah. Southern fence has a price of $13,956 for 375 feet, a 6-foot commercial chain link with 3 strands of barbed wire on it. That's a good price compared to these others. And it includes a 20-foot gate. Yeah. And I know it doesn't include here an automatic opener.
No,
I think
but
we can come back and do that.
Yes.
And I believe we need to. Yeah, I've been over there at 3 o'clock in the morning and it's snowing sideways and 10 degrees and trying to get a frozen lock unlocked to get in there to get the snow plow. And that's, yeah. It's worth spending a couple, $3,000 to get this thing done right.
Probably more than 3.
Okay. Well, maybe there's iron workers out there that can help us. I don't know.
The list is piling up.
But, Southern Fence is obviously the far and away cheapest, supplier of fencing out of these three bids. And we actually didn't have to get three bids because this is less than,
Yeah, we had to get
yeah.
Colleen.
But, do I have a motion to approve the bid of $13,956 from Southern Fencing to install 375 feet of fencing at our Public Works facility?
Motion, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Bunch has made the motion. Do I have a
It
second?
could,
I
it
second.
could vary, it could go up just.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't,
Yeah.
we're not looking at over 10%. Yeah. And do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, Councilman Daniels seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye.
Dove,
Aye.
Timber.
All right.
Is this a 30-day quote or anything, or? Let's,
It's past 30 days.
Yeah, 30 days.
But they came out the other day and did the measurement and everything, so I should be getting a new quote pretty soon.
I mean, if it, I'm sure, changes a little bit.
Well, I see the date on it, too.
Yeah,
I mentioned it now.
it more than likely, I mean, this thing will shrink or increase 10-15%. More than likely, we get the shed built, it's gonna shrink. It's gonna use less, because we'll use the shed as,
Yes.
that 80 feet of shed
Yeah, when he
will
came out,
replace
and
80
measured, he
feet of
measured
fence.
the backside. I wasn't
Right.
over there and they measured the backside. I don't think we need it back there.
Okay. And the third item of new business is a bid on a Ford Explorer that would belong to City Hall here, to the city manager's office. Mr. Ellis has been using his own personal vehicle since he's been in office, for all city travel. They went to, the state has a state contract with Ford Motor Company to supply vehicles under the state bid. Ray Varner actually beat the state's bid by, what, $600?
They beat it by, I think it's about 2,000, wasn't it? Wasn't the state bid 46?
45,557. Is that right?
No, what you're looking at is Ray's bid.
Is this raised bid?
That's Ray's bid.
Okay.
With the discount.
Well, it
This
says,
is not a police package.
No.
no,
Okay.
it says government concession, less $600.
Yeah.
So it's 45,557, less $600. I don't see anything on the state.
No, we didn't put it in there. Because we sent 3 bids out, 2 of them didn't return nothing.
Yeah, it's Yeoman's and Short Redmond didn't
Yeah.
return bids. And the total base on this thing was 48,205. And the state's price was what?
46.
46. We can get it from Ray for 44.9. I'd rather deal with Ray anyway. Yeah. I remember we used to go to, what's the name of the big Ford place in Nashville? I've been down there half a dozen times picking up vehicles, bringing them back.
Yeah.
Huh?
They were in Murfreesboro.
No, this was one in Nashville, because it was above the place that we bought a fire engine from. I can't remember. They, for years, they had the contract, they supplied all police cruisers in the state. I mean, you go there to get them picked up. I've actually taken cars down there for warranty work, which is stupid, rather than driving all the way to Nashville. But, we have a bid price of $44,957 on this Explorer. This is something that'll last us for years and years. We need this vehicle. We could probably purchase through surplus one, and it's gonna be in the 30,000 range. I believe we'd be better off purchasing a new vehicle. Do I have a motion to purchase this Ford Explorer from Ray Varner Ford for a cost of $44,957?
Make the motion, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Bunch has made the motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Councilman Daniels seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch.
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Templin.
Aye. Is there anything else to come before the board? Now, if anyone? Pull anything up?
Curiosity, how's the baby box doing at the fire department?
No babies in it. We're keeping an eye on it, though. We keep an eye on it. Yeah, no babies yet.
You want rid of that one? I'll take him home with me.
Yeah, we take that little,
Me and Richie will take the one that comes to the box. Yeah.
there'll be people fighting on it.
I saw that.
Yeah. If it's used, I wouldn't be surprised somebody carrying a baby off. But, if there be no further business to come before the board, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Councilman Bunch has made the motion, and Councilman Daniels has seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Get you back.
Spending all that money makes me nervous.